last round recap is here. In the 9th round, I was playing with white piece against Savia, Joseph Banner. Once again, the kid born in 2006. I mean, not a kid, already like above 18 years old, but still a very young guy, very good player. And before the game, I tried to prepare something. I saw that he plays French. I actually played him online a couple of times, and we had kind of same line that happened in the game. Slightly different move order, but yeah, I just couldn't get a good advantage. Let's see what happened. So e4, e6, d4, d5, knight c3, knight f6. I actually prepared more for bishop b4, maybe going for Vinaver, play something more complex, but knight f6, Rubinstein, very boring line, which I kind of hate playing against. So maybe going into the next tournaments, I'll start maybe going e5 here, because yeah, bishop g5 is one of the moves, but d takes e4, unless my opponent do something else. But the thing that I got in this specific game is, yeah, just boring position. I had no momentum going into the middle game, so yeah, it was just kind of boring to play. Knight d7, knight f3, h6, takes, bishop e3. I think one of the possibilities is to go bishop d3 here, but once again, I mean, I can maybe h6, maybe just bishop e7, and then queen e2, knight e4, bishop e7, queen e7, bishop e4, knight f6, castle, knight e4, queen e4, castle, and something on knight f3, and white get a small edge, but once again, the position is around equal. So h6, knight f6, I go bishop e3. So if knight d5 here, I just go bishop d2, bishop d6 was played on the board, bishop goes to d3, castle, queen e2, b6, knight e5, trying to get control over c6 square. Now bishop goes to b7, and I go long castle. Of course, nobody will take the pawn on g2, because rook h1 and black can resign almost immediately. So knight d5 was played instead, the main line. Other than that, there is like not much, because you can't really play c5 right now, because the rook is on the same file as the queen. So knight d5, attacking the bishop, bishop goes back, and now queen h4, attacking the pawn on d4. And here we're going to pretty much forced line, which I prepared before the game. I just didn't think we'll reach this one. I thought he's going maybe to play Vinaver, and then we'll get a complicated play, but yeah, unfortunately we got this position where I play knight f3, and after queen f6, queen f4, it turns out that black either have to give up a pawn, not necessarily, because queen g6 happened in the game. Oh man, I can't even talk, I'm so tired. So queen f5 is something that I have in my prep file. So queen f5 takes, bishop f5, knight f4. This is what I looked at in the morning before the game can be won. And by the way, I got late for the round, because stupid someone who lives, let's say, here in Toronto, they would know TTC is insane. But yeah, it was tough to get to the round. I almost got, you know, forfeited. I mean, I got lucky because they delayed the round, but otherwise, you know, would be terrible. But I started the game with 1 hour 19 minutes on the clock, so that wasn't bad. And I played up until here. I spent, I think, less than 5 minutes of my total time. So overall, I knew what I'm doing. So queen g6, I go queen h4, and here I kind of started thinking f5 is not really playable, because now you kind of weaken your e6 pawn, and you kind of agree to play a worse position. So he goes queen f6, I go queen f4, queen g6, queen h4. And I'm like, are we making a draw here? Like, what's going on? Like, I'm already, you know, happy to go home, just sign the score sheet and then just leave. But now Savio plays f5. I can't say, I was a bit surprised, because I was looking at him, I was like, are we making the free fall? Like, what's happening here? So the thing is, I can't offer him a draw until move 30. So unfortunately, we have to play. The thing is, if we would do three-fold like I did in the last round, go check it out, against Kusha Jeferian with black pieces, this is a draw, three-fold draw. But he goes f5, and I was a bit surprised, like, was like still equal, around equal, but now I'm slightly better probably. So I slide my knight to e5, queen f6, takes, knight f6, and now I play f3. Very smart move, just to prevent this bishop from taking the pawn on g2 and also restricting this knight from going to e4. Because if I was to do something else, I'm not even sure, like, let's say rook g1, there is just knight g4. Like, f3 is probably the only move in the position. Obviously, I can go bishop f1, but I mean, knight f4, I can just... I'm in a terrible position, of course. F3, just a logical move, the most logical. Bishop e5, he takes f5, and now knight goes to d5. And here, once again, I spent some time thinking, what should I do next? I saw h4, which is best, but I decided not to play it. I'm not sure why. But, okay, I mean, h4 was just to take some space. Overall, not so bad. I also looked at bishop c4. After bishop c4, I was thinking maybe I even take on d5 next move and not really worried about anything because this is just a draw. But this is a draw, but again, it's probably slightly worse for me. I mean, in general, black can play this position. I can't say it's something significant. Computer says zeros, you have opposite color bishops, and okay, simple draw. But I decided to go for c4. I decided, okay, I have two bishops, maybe there are still some tricks, but no, I was wrong. So I go bishop c3, and after knight g6, now I go rook h e1. So here, why not rook d2? You might ask. I also calculate bishop c2. What I didn't like was knight f4. I planned to go rook d2, and I calculated that knight g2, rook g2, bishop f3. There is something potentially terrible. Yes, there are two pieces, two bishops for the rook, but black have two pawns for this bishop, and also potential 3 pass pawns on the king side. So I was like, my bishops are not too active. I looked at c5 briefly, and I was like, okay, let's say no a5 c5, and probably still equal, but it's hard. No, I looked at g5 and then c5. So I was like, I'm not sure if I'm going to play this position, because now let's say this, king f7, and I just couldn't find why am I better, what should happen. Objectively, it's easier to play with black pieces. I looked at it and I was like, nah, I'm not playing it, because let's say bishop d1, I think king g6, and I'm already worse. Like, pawns are just start moving, so it was never an option. So rook h1, just with the idea that after knight h4, knight f4, I have bishop f1 to protect it, and there are no longer knight f3 or bishop f3, so I'm kind of happy. And he goes rook d8, and from now on, I kind of realized that we're going to the draw direction, as there is not much pieces left. I looked at bishop c6, but then, you know, b4, a6, and now rook d2. But once again, I looked at this lines briefly, but I think this is slightly better version, because now I have rook d7. Oh, that's why. And now knight e1, bishop e1, rook f7, and now rook d2, g5, c5. Yeah, I mean, slightly more active, but still will be extremely hard to get a win here. So bishop f1, rook d8, rook d8, rook d1, trading everything on the board. f4 is played, king e1, g5, king f2. Honestly, I expected knight g6 to be played on the board. I still plan to go g3, and again, let's say king g7, I go bishop d3, and probably gonna... What I calculate is, let's say, something like a5, and I just take g4, and we basically agree to a draw. Yeah, g4. And let's say c5 is, I mean, it can be played. I'm not sure if, let's say, king f7, I plan to go c5, and now it's just a dead draw. King f7 takes, bishop d4, b5, bishop c5, king f7, because if king goes this way, there's potential pawns, and there is absolutely nothing black can do. It is a draw, and white nothing. So it is an objectively good position. Draw. It is what it is. g3, and after f takes g3 capture, he offered me a draw, and I immediately accepted, because there's not much going on. Nobody can play for a win, really. Like, my plan was simple. I just go h take g3, and then maybe even f4 at some point. Like, doesn't matter. Or bishop d3 and trying to take on f5 and play opposite color bishop endgame. It is a draw. As far as accuracy goes in this game, 98.9 by me and 99.0 by black. Yeah, because I Still played some bad moves, some mistakes, but yeah, nothing much. Overall, I can't say it was a good tournament. 5 out of 9. I mean, the result is not so bad, but yeah, disastrous start. Like 4 draws in first 5 games, lost 1 game against 1900. Generally, it was very tough mentally to recover, but yeah, got 1 win, then again win. And I can't say I gave my opponents too much chances in these games, but yeah, I mean, in the game that I won with white pieces in round number 7, yeah, it was kind of tough. But in round number 6, I won pretty smoothly. Yeah, and last 2 games, just to kind of wrap up the event. Overall, I mean, yeah, okay, fine. Lost some rating, I believe 27 rating points. Unfortunately, it is what it is. Yeah, and I'm kind of getting a bit far from 2200 goal. Yeah, finished, I believe, 22nd, 21st, started with as 19th seed in the tournament. Yeah, I still learned a lot of things, couple of openings, but yeah, I mean, at least in the last 2 games with white piece, I'm surprised my opponents played French. You know, I had Sicilian for so many games, like at least 5 out of first 6 games Sicilian, and then there was some Hatchcock system, and then 2 French, and again Sicilian defense. Yeah, I had Sicilian basically in 6 out of 9 games. That's insane. Sicilian madness on the board. Yeah, it is a draw. It is what it is. Finished 5 out of 9. One loss only. 1 loss only, but there is nothing to be proud about because played terrible for the rest of the tournament, but that's okay. Hope you enjoyed this recaps. I'm not sure what my next tournament will be. I'm still trying to figure out the schedule, trying to find something good, something fun. But that's it from me. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.